All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. We're doing this on YouTube today. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you are brand new, make sure you hit the follow or the bell that you get notified whenever I go live on YouTube. Shane West from Chicago. Richard from Gardena. Court Gomes, Guyana. Nina from Hanford, California. My cousin Marnita from Colorado. My cousin Barbara Brown from Vallejo. Oh, my family's stepping up today. Gerald Gardner, Janelle, Marnita's mother. Bethany Gibbs, Seattle. Brian Roberts, Pasadena. Maryland, not California. Mr. Walker from Vidalia, Georgia. Shauna Ross, Charlotte, North Carolina. Havila from Nigeria. Jamar Lopes, been a while since I heard the name. JJ from the UK. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, find action, take action, find a vehicle, and stay focused. Do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's take a look at, I did not do crypto talk yesterday. I don't think I did. But look what the market's doing today. It is at 239 billion, up 7.1% over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 63.8% today. Bitcoin is up 7.7%. So if the coal market cap's only up 7.1%, what went down? Who lost? So Bitcoin 7.7%, Ethereum is up 6.9%, Ripple 7.2%. But let's look at the last 7 days of this trend. Bitcoin 21.4% up in the last 7 days. Ethereum is up 22.5%. Ripple 20.2%. Bitcoin Cash 15.1%. Litecoin 16.5%. EOS 14.2%. Tezos 31.6%. Cardano is up 46%. Really? Over the last 7 days. Stellar's up 39.9%. So these coins, the whole market cap seems to be on a run right now. I'm going all the way down. Digibyte is up 91%. Binance took a hit. Well, Binance USD. Wait a second. Really? It's interesting. Binance coin is worth $16.93. Binance stable coin. Interesting. Hive is up 289% over the last 7 days. So it seems to have flattened out and not shown to be a pump and dump. So we're seeing a run going on right now. Good morning, Lorna Vasquez and Tony Pinkston. Let's look at the news. What's the news telling us today? Siam Commercial Bank and Ripple launching new remittance service for 16 million customers. Ripple's back in the news. Real case scenarios. One of the largest banks in Thailand is expecting a popular payments app using technology from the San Francisco startup Ripple. Siam Commercial Bank has gained approval. You know, how long are they going to continue to call Ripple a startup? It's been around for years. Startup company. Siam Commercial Bank has gained approval from Thailand's central bank to launch its outward remittance service on the SCB Easy app. The bank touts the new feature as a cost-effective and fast cross-border payments service available to its 16 million customers. SCB says it's looking to launch the service across 12 countries, including the United Kingdom, USA, Singapore, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Ireland, Austria, Belgium, and Portugal, supporting USD, GP, BP, Euro, and SGD. Although the app runs on Ripple's payments technology, it doesn't rely on the crypto asset XRP to move money. So this is the company Ripple that's making headlines, not the coin. SCB and Ripple are also working to launch a separate app designed to allow tourists in Thailand to easily pay for goods and services without having to worry about high fees or currency conversions. Good morning, Jacqueline from St. Petersburg, Florida. All right, next up. Crypto strategist Nicholas Merten says Bitcoin is ready to pop as halving approaches. Now, I made this prediction at the beginning of the year. Here's how I think this is going to go down. The closer we get to the Bitcoin halving, the higher the coin is going to rise. And how many days do we have right now? 13 days, 12 days and 17 hours. So Bitcoin is going to continue to rise. After the halving takes place, Bitcoin should rise maybe for another 30 days, maybe going into June. And then you're going to see a massive sell-off in the summer. The whales are going to sell. Not only the whales are going to sell, but so are miners. The miners are going to sell. And the market's going to drop like a rock. And it might go back down to $6,000, $5,000 a coin. And it's going to hover there for maybe a month or two. And going into the fall, then you're going to start to see a slow rise again. And it's going to be like 2017. Now, experts are debating on how high that will rise by the end of the year. People think it might anywhere between $10,000 to $14,000 a coin by the end of the year. But when 2021 comes around the summertime of 2021, the rocket ship takes off. And it ain't coming this down again. You're not going to see it below $10,000 again. It can shoot up to 100, 150,000, have a correction and drop maybe to $40,000 a coin, $50,000, even $30,000 a coin. That'll be the news media will say Bitcoin crashed, even though it's at $30,000 a coin. Now, this is my own prediction, and I could be wrong. There's a lot of factors that could change that all up. Like, what happens to the global financial economy? Will we go into a global depression? Will the market rebound? Will coronavirus come back around for round 2? Saying they're not finished. It's not finished yet, because they're saying they expect it to come back like it's left, but it's going to come back even stronger in the wintertime. How will the social distancing work? Will kids be able to go back to school? All these things. We got a presidential election that's going to take place. How's that going to work? What's the fallout from that going to be? In the United States, you've got, it's so polarized from people on either side. People that love Donald Trump vehemently and people that hate him vehemently, and they believe what they believe. And when the mind is right, facts don't matter on either side. If Donald Trump loses, his supporters will say deep state dug in and they rigged the election and whatever. And Donald Trump will claim that it was stolen and he won't do a peaceful transfer of power for the first time in American history. He won't. If Donald Trump wins, then the people against him are going to be screaming that either he used the coronavirus as a way to do voter suppression, and then all of a sudden we'll try to have more rounds of impeachment go around, and it'll be all hell will break loose. Either side. That's going to impact the market. There really is no win-win scenario here. Well, depending on what side you're on. But either way, there's going to be fallout, whether he wins or loses, and all of us will be experiencing it. But I don't know how those things are going to affect the market. But without those things, this is my prediction of as far as crypto, how it's going to respond. So crypto analyst Nicholas Merten says he believes Bitcoin is poised for another major move to the upside. In a new episode of Data Dash, Merten uses the weekly chart of the Bitcoin USD pair to mark key trend lines and get a picture of where the price is likely headed in the short term. The crypto strategist says that the leading currency will likely continue printing green candles in the weeks ahead. Merten expects Bitcoin to maintain its bullish momentum and trend toward $9,000 as Bitcoin continues to form a giant wedge that dates back to the second half of 2017. Didn't I say that earlier? We're going to see like 2017 all over again. Halving event here, May 2020, and look at this wedge. What's that date? Right before May of 2021. Interesting. But the strategist points out that Bitcoin's signature volatility is going nowhere. It's likely that as we go into the halving event, sure, we are going to see an increase in volatility. It's an important point to keep in mind. We are going to definitely see a lot of jitter, but I think we're going to continue this trend up here, and it's going to pick up momentum as we go into the halving event to where we're going to probably be up into around the $9,000 range, if not the upper $8,000 range. Bitcoin is trading at 78.46 at time of publishing. Right now, it is at 8,300. After the halving, Merten believes Bitcoin will give up some of its gains in the short term. I agree. But continue to maintain its bullish steam in the bigger picture. I agree. It's going to be very interesting times. And then after that, I do believe we can have a pullback to about where we are right now, between 7,000, the upper 7,000, I say below 7,000. Into the lower 7,000 range, I think that's where we're going to come to pull back, which means you got to time this right. When the sucker gets 8,000, 8,800, maybe 9,000, be prepared to move your stuff into Tether and let it drop. It drops down to the 7,000 range, then you move it back into Bitcoin. You just gained yourself more than 2,000 points by doing that way. So it says, I think that's where we're going to come to pull back, set a higher low, eventually continue to retest this line of resistance and signal the price wants higher levels. That's the key thing that we're going to be looking for. Of course, this is over the course of a couple of months. Although he's careful to point out that anything can happen in the current global economic climate and that Bitcoin has proved many traders wrong in the past. Merten says Bitcoin's historical logarithmic growth curves, significant lows, and significant resistance suggest Bitcoin is gearing up for a new cycle to around, what? $100,000 a coin. You are seeing this everywhere. What are we seeing now? Anywhere between $100,000 to $1 million a coin. So crypto analyst Tony Days says, here we go again, $100,000 Bitcoin prediction in play. If, that's the key word there, if Bitcoin breaks these pivotal lines of resistance. Veteran analyst Tony Days says an epic Bitcoin rally is in store if the king of crypto can overcome key areas of resistance. In a new episode of Trading Bitcoin, Days says the TD sequential indicator, which traces a series of price points to identify potential breakouts, suggests Bitcoin may break out to $9,000 in the short term. But despite the bullish indicator, Days says he's not betting on this coming to fruition due to a strong line of resistance at $8,000. Really? We just passed that. We're at 8,300. We smashed past it. Can we make it to $9,000? Anything is possible. The biggest reason why that's a little too optimistic is this behemoth of triple resistance of the 128-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, and a Fibonacci 62% line at $8,000. That is a monster, but we just passed it. If Bitcoin can make it to $9,000, they says the last line of resistance is a descending triangle that currently stands at $9,500. If that happens, they says the highly discussed stock-to-flow model from the anonymous analyst Plan B, which forecasts that Bitcoin will hit anywhere between 100,000 to 288,000 by 2024, will suddenly be on the table. Days also points to John McAfee's infamous bet that Bitcoin will hit $500,000 this year. That's not going to happen. The moment we break above this red line at $9,000, Plan B is going to be right. And Plan B has some very optimistic targets. For all we know, John McAfee could be right. No. $500,000 a coin this year? What are you talking about? This is the ultimate resistance, and it's not that further off. This is at 9,500 right now. What do I think is going to happen? What I think is going to happen is we're going to get rejected by this monster at 8,000. It just broke 8,000. Okay, I see now where he says it's a no-go. So I think you just have to finesse the top a bit. Otherwise, it looks like you misinterpreted him. Days says he's expecting Bitcoin's current rally will continue until it hits the barrier at 8,000. After that, he predicts a Bitcoin will correct to 74 or 7,200. Well, Days is already wrong. This article came up, what's the date? April 28th, yesterday. And we already broke 8,000. We're at 8,300. So his model's already off, which means let's go into dream mode for a second. Because he says, for all we know, John McAfee could be right. $500,000. Let's play a little bit with the numbers here. So Bitcoin's at $8,300 right now. You had $10,000. You put that into Bitcoin at right now's price. You got 1.2 Bitcoin. And then this year, I seriously doubt it will happen. But what if it goes to a $500,000 a coin? Your $10,000 just grew to $602,000 in less than a year. What if, though, you earned your way into 10 Bitcoin at today's price? Oops. 10 Bitcoin at today's price. Oh, $10,000. Oh, I'm doing it right. 10 times 8,300. So that gives you $83,000 worth of coins right now that you earned your way to. And then those same 10 Bitcoin is worth $500,000. $5 million in the 1 year. Duan, you're right. It went to from 10K to 20K in 18 days in December 2017. It was actually more than that because it was at like just a week before that, it was at 6K. It's possible. It is possible. I don't see it happening, not until 2021. But what if it took 5 years? Just think about this for a second. This year, you got your hand on 10 Bitcoin. And in 5 years, it's worth $5 million. Would that be okay? That's better than what most people are using as a plan A, $75,000 a year, tax-free. How much is that in 5 years? $375,000. I'm telling you guys, we are living in extraordinary times all across the board. I mean, I'm only 43 years old, and the things that we've seen in my 43 years, for 1976, and I'm not going to go through a whole history lesson, late 70s, Jimmy Carter, Iran-Contra with the 80s, Ronald Reagan, 84 Olympics in LA, the Challenger explosion, the Soviet Union, the fall of the Soviet Union, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the 90s. 90s was a great decade. I love the 90s. 9/11, war, Gulf War, twice. I mean, the internet, Nintendo, the internet, high-speed internet, Netflix, Google, Facebook, Amazon, cell phones. We have experienced so much in a short period of time. It's unbelievable. There's not that much difference between like the baby boomers and their parents and their parents. Not that much changed as compared to what has changed over the last 50 years. And it's only speeding up. A unique time to live. And now we're seeing the death of the dollar and the birth of a new financial system around the entire globe. A pandemic. Like the world has seen this type before, but not with today's technology. The world is closer than ever before. And now we're dealing with a new financial system that every single one of you can change your family tree by the decisions and actions you take today. Your mindset should only be on How do I accumulate more coins as much as possible? Everything that I do is towards that purpose. At least make it one goal to own one whole Bitcoin and set it aside. I don't care how bad things get, don't spend it. One whole Bitcoin and set it aside. And then build upon that. Because me and my friends, we're not talking about 10 Bitcoin. We're talking about 100 before this year is out. 100 Bitcoin. And what if it does go to $500,000 a coin? That's 50 million. 50 million. So if I want to be a 50 millionaire, I need to get my hands on $1 million worth of coins, or a little less. Because 100 Bitcoin is about 800,000 plus. But I need to get my hands on $1 million worth of coins before this year is out. And then sit on those suckers. And it's not just that either. You got the altcoins. You saw the altcoins are rising. Let's see what the price of Bitcoin and the market's doing now, since I'm at the end of crypto talk. So Bitcoin's still at 80. Let's refresh. 83.30. Ethereum is up. Ripple's at 22 cents. Just 2 days ago it was 19 cents. 6-7 days ago it was like at 14 cents. It's getting right back up there again. Now's the time, ladies and gentlemen. No time to be wasting. Time to take action. May 15th can't get here fast enough, as far as I'm concerned. And those of you who are in business with me know why. So that is it for Crypto Talk today. I'll be back tonight. I'm doing a presentation, Plan B presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Have a good day, everybody. Hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.